Dracula. For some, it's terrifying. For others, it's quite interesting. Dracula was born in 1431 to a very noble family that lived in modern-day Romania. His father's name, Dracula, actually means devil or dragon, which leads me to his family was the Order of Dragon, and they lived in the Muslim Ottoman Empire. Dracula's name meant the son of Dracula, and I should say that he wasn't actually known as Dracula. He was known as Vlad. He was, at a young age, kidnapped by the Turks because they were constantly at war. And while he was imprisoned by them, they went and murdered his father and older brother. He was also imprisoned by the Hungarians. When he finally got free, he reclaimed his throne, and bless his heart, he lost it twice, and he did win it back. One of the times he lost it, it was to one of his brothers. They were just fighting all the time. And he was very big in faith, and he set up like 50 monasteries. But during his time, the way he became famous was one day or time when the Turks decided to declare war. He scared them off by impaling hundreds or thousands of people. It was a whole forest of them, and it looked like it rained blood. And he'd done this on several different occasions. So he got the name Vlad Trapsi, or Vlad the Impaler. And it was said one time when he done this, he sat out among the bodies and had a meal. Which, I think is kind of gross, but it always worked, and it scared them away because they thought that a man who could do that was no one to trifle with, which, if it works, it works. Dracula was killed in 1476 by the Turks. Apparently they decided eventually they needed to kill him. He was killed near the capital of modern-day Romania. They cut his head off and displayed it in Constantinople. When they buried him in what was used as a torture chamber, and it was said that when they went to find his body, that it was missing. So it kind of plays along with the idea or legend that he may have been a vampire. No one ever found his remains. So, all we know is that Dracula was a real person, and he got famous in his time for being an impaler. But there was this here writer named Bram Stoker. He decided to use this whole legend of Dracula and make a book. And in this book, he made Dracula this horrifying vampire that had lived through all this time. And in the book, he gave Dracula's amazing powers where he can control and speak to animals like wolves, and he could scale down buildings. And I believe in the book that he could turn into a bat. I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I've read the book. And you really need to read it. It was quite interesting. And Dracula, really, he's quite popular. They've made several movies about him. He's been in several series, from the black and white to all the way to present day to cartoons. He's quite a guy, Dracula.
Nikola Tesla played an essential role in the field of electromagnetism and greatly contributed to the development of commercial electricity. Tesla was born to Serbian parents in modern-day Croatia. In pursuit of an engineering career, he attended the Technical University of Graz in Austria and later Charles University in Prague. Tesla's first employment was at a telegraph engineering office in Budapest, Hungary. In 1881 he became chief electrician of the company and contributed to the development of the country's first telephone system. Tesla went to work for the Continental Edison Company in Paris in 1882. He developed a practical induction motor, which is a type of AC or alternating current motor that supplies power to the rotor by means of electromagnetic induction. He built various devices that utilized rotating magnetic fields, the principal element necessary for the operation of the alternating current motor. In 1884 Tesla arrived in New York City. After being hired by Thomas Edison, he quickly became a crucial asset and was presented with the opportunity to improve Edison's direct current generators. In 1885, George Westinghouse bought the patent rights to Tesla's polyphase system of alternating current dynamos, motors, and transformers. The purchase initiated an unprecedented power struggle between Thomas Edison's direct current systems and the Tesla-Westinghouse alternating current systems. The Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing Company was formed in 1886, but investors ultimately disagreed with Tesla's methods, and he was removed from his position. And in 1988 he presented his brushless alternating current induction motor before the American Institute of Electrical Engineers. He invented the Tesla coil in 1891. The Tesla coil is widely used today in television and radio, as well as other electronic equipment for wireless communication. He became an American citizen that same year. Tesla produced numerous electrical motors, revolutionary forms of generators and transformers, as well as a system of alternating current power transmission. He invented the fluorescent light and became infatuated with the wireless transmission of power. Tesla claimed to have created the technology of remote control. He demonstrated a radio-controlled boat for the US military. In Colorado Springs, where Tesla lived from 1899 until early 1900, he experimented with methods to transmit electrical power wirelessly over long distances. He proved the Earth could be used as a conductor and was able to transfer energy to receiving devices through longitudinal waves. He produced artificial lighting with some discharges up to 135 feet long. After returning to New York, he designed a wireless telecommunications tower, which was constructed in Long Island and later dismantled during World War I. It is thought that Nikola Tesla may have suffered from obsessive-compulsive disorder. He became a recluse in the last years of his life and died alone in the New Yorker hotel.
Nikola Tesla. A man the world should not forget. Any of today's modern technology, you should thank him for. Your radio, your electricity, all of it. 'Cause in some way, he helped with it. But what the previous video did not tell you was right before he died, he had reported that he was working on and had completed, or almost completed, what he called a peace ray, but others called a death ray, and it was able to kill 10 or destroy 10,000 enemy planes from a distance of 200 miles at one shot. Now this was quite amazing, and anybody would want to get their hands on it, but since Tesla was a pacifist, which is kind of odd, he was making a death ray, he said he was going to give it to every country, have them fire at the same time, and destroy war, because he hated war. Who can blame him? War was a bad thing. And before you go saying, hey, guy's crazy, Tesla was eccentric, and some people may say he's just crazy, but in that day, they didn't know when the crazy was talking and when the guy was serious. So they were willing to look into it, so much so that after he died, they created an agency called the Nick Agency that gathered up all his papers, documents, all of it, and contained it, looking at it, going over it, to making sure that it didn't get out to where it wouldn't endanger anybody. But Tesla's pretty cool, and he's made it into the movies and limelight too, not so much as Dracula or other people. He was present in the movie The Prestige, and he's also a character in Sci-Fi's hit series Sanctuary. He's quite a guy. I gotta say, I admire him. He is probably the world's greatest inventor and physicist. So, Nikola Tesla, a man history should not forget and should give way more credit to.